The meeting to order. Is there any declaration of conflicts?
None.
Okay. All right, approval of the agenda, please.
Councillor Rivard, I brought this up before. I just want to maybe, I don't think we'll get the time to discuss it today, but I spoke to Mr. Kelly, and I think correct me if I spoke to you about it, but we're looking at a review of the zoning and development bylaw, an overall review of it. Do we have a timeline for that, Alex?
So Your Worship, we just went through a fairly large overhaul, not even 2 years ago when when zoning and development bylaws. What we refer to as looking at next is a look at the official plan, which is the key piece, and that's a fairly large undertaking. So I think that's the piece that we need to look at first prior to revamp.
Do we have a timeline for that, Councillor Alex?
Your Worship, a lot of that's going to be contingent upon budget. And the other problem with initiating that, it doesn't mean that it can't occur, but because of COVID rules, it's really hard to have public meetings. And if this document is going to last for 10 to 20 years, you need to have a really robust planning process, surrounding it, so people feel that they were, a party to it, and that they weren't restricted in any way. So we're good participating. So we are looking at terms of reference, how we would run the public consultation, but it's certainly on our radar. But I cannot give you a definitive answer. I think it's contingent upon how much money we can spend on the public consultation and the project in general, because it will likely be run by a consultant.
A consultant in the planning field, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
And it would be on the, as Councillor Rivard said, it would be on the official plan.
Yes. Correct. Yeah.
And the official plan is actually the umbrella of our zoning and development bylaw, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So, is it possible to say 6, 9 months, 12 months? Could we,
Alex, I'll be willing to go on record and say that I think 12 months at the earliest. And this is this is a huge undertaking, and you have to do it mostly during the summer months. Hopefully have those meetings, but it all depends on COVID and the restrictions that are in place. So if they're all lifted by the summer and we're good to go, and we have the budgetary approval, then like I said, we can start moving towards that. But there's just so many question marks right now to be able to give you time
because of the pandemic. And just the last question, I know it's not on the agenda, but what's an estimate, Councillor Rivard or Alex, cost estimate to review the official plan and how it impacts the zoning and development bylaw? Are you looking at 50,000?
Couple $100,000.
What's that?
It's an expensive undertaking.
Couple of $100,000?
Yeah. I mean,
what did the last review cost 2 years ago?
Well, I kind of forget. I mean, that had been started when I came in, but anyways, we should really have a sort of a side meeting. There's so many moving parts on this. It's hard to kind of explain all that went on in the past and what's happening in the future. But
okay. And so, Mr. Chair, Councillor Rivard, could I just ask to give notification to bring that up at the next Plan and Heritage Committee meeting? That's what I'll do instead of prolonging the debate. Is that all right?
Yeah, just bring it up. Yep.
So I'll just put that on as a notification for the next meeting. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
All right. So I need the approval of the agenda, please. Still.
Moved.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Adoption of the minutes from the meeting on September 8th.
Moved.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. All right. Any business arising from those minutes?
Nope.
Okay. Nothing. So we're going to move into a closed session. As I'm assuming, Alex, do you want to move into closed session?
No, you don't need to move into closed yet. The decision on your telecommunication tower isn't open.
Okay, so let's go right into discussions then. So proposed antenna system, Bell Mobility Tower. Alex, you have the floor. Let's try to make this as quick as possible because, like I said, we only have 20 minutes before finance meets.
Yep, I'll defer to Greg. He'll just kind of indicate where it was, and then our follow-ups, which you gave some directive on this last, I'll defer to Greg.
Yes, so the committee met on September 8th to review the application. The committee commented that the tower is not near any residential subdivision, but they were concerned that it was very close to Mount Edward Road. So we were asked to take this back to Bell to see if it could be moved. Bell came back and said, thanks for the suggestion, but they want to proceed with the location that they originally submitted, which is 17 meters off of Mount Edward Road and 55 feet. So they indicated that the industrial park is a preferred location in the antenna siting protocol, and they followed the public notification process and everything else. And essentially, staff are, have three options for the committee. We can write a letter to Industry Canada saying we concur with the proposed location as is. We can write a letter saying we do not concur, or we could write a letter saying that we concur, but prefer that it be moved further back. So I guess three options. We sent these around electronically, but only heard back from one person. So we're here today to get a formal answer so we could proceed to council on Tuesday.
So Greg, thank you. So I'm assuming that no matter what option we take, 1, 2, or 3, the tower's going to end up 17 meters off Mount Edward Road.
We'll be writing a letter, and it'll be up to Industry Canada to decide how they want to proceed with approval.
Okay. Your Worship, Councillor Cody, what do you guys think?
Yeah, Councillor Cody, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say. It's one of those ones where I almost feel like it's kind of a take it or leave it. But, it would have been nice, I agree with the committee from the previous discussions, to move it back off the road a little bit. But if that's not the appetite for Bell, then I don't know if we can really kind of force their hand. I agree with the location. It's not stuck in somebody's backyard, but nevertheless, I don't think anyone really likes these towers.
Hey, thank you, Councillor Cody. Your Worship, comments?
Greg, who did you receive yay or nay back from the committee?
Councillor Duran.
He's for it or against it?
I think if I remember correctly, he was for the third option, where we write a letter saying we concur but prefer that it be moved back.
1, 2, and 3. Take the hybrid of 2. I think this is just too imposing on Mount Edward Road. We'll have another fight on our hands with the individuals or groups are saying that we're imposing on our right-of-ways with big buildings, towers. What's next? So one thing that, as you know, Greg, the Industry Canada does require a stamp of approval. If that weighs in or doesn't weigh in, they have to get some sense from the local community or the local jurisdiction if we're in favor or against it. So I want it back in that corner, and there's space there to do it. And that would make it, instead of being 17 meters off Mount Edward Road, I think if you look at it, Greg, that back corner would take it about close to 110 meters back, correct?
Yeah, I could give you an exact, but it would be considerably more than 17 meters.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's too imposing. And let's say if TELUS comes along or East Link, and we want now a tower that will just overlook Mount Edward Road. So in the end, we may be changing Mount Edward Road to the Towers Road. So no, Mr. Chair, I'm not for it. I think that there'll be a lot of public reaction if the city stamps this to say, oh no, we're all right with it, but we're asking you to move it back. They have to move it back. And I will not be voting for one or 3. I'll be voting for 2 to reject it, to send it back to Industry Canada. I'm not against towers. It's just where do you put them?
Well, three was the option that allowed us to accept, but push the tower back. Isn't that right, Greg?
Yeah, well, 3 would be we would write a letter of concurrence of the tower, but would indicate in it that we prefer that it be moved back.
That's saying yes. That's all that's saying.
Right.
I think
It's saying.
yeah. And Greg, what 2 again? Just repeat what 2
is said that we do not concur with the proposed location of the tower and outline our concerns.
Okay, so here's my only fear is that again, going to what Councillor Cody just said, which I think he has a good point, is that we don't want to see this in a residential area. So I believe myself that the tower is in the right area, if you will. Just really want to push it off the road further. So
right.
Again, the business park or the industrial park, that's where it needs to go. And my fear is that if we come out and say no, and they say, well, okay, we have another location that's much closer proximity to a neighborhood, then we're going to hear it.
Have you heard that, Councillor?
Have I heard?
Is that new information? Do you have that information?
Oh no, I'm just throwing
No.
out there.
Okay.
I'm just throwing out different scenarios because again, we saw the one down in Victoria Park where they put the satellite station. They got one off Mount Everett Road, in behind the mall area, behind the homes. I'm just saying that if there's empty land, there is always potential, and that's the scary part. That's all.
Yeah. Well, just remember, McGinnis Transport owns that property.
Yeah.
So whether it goes in the front or goes in the back corner, I don't know what the issue is.
I'm all for putting it in the back. We discussed that already. We said no problem in that area, but we would rather it in the back parcel of that property.
Yeah.
Which I think falls under option 3.
And just for reference, the entire property is 147 meters long.
So that would put it back 140 plus meters because you have to take in the consideration the pedestal that it'll sit on. Yeah. So instead of back 17, it's back 140. Works out to about 300 feet. That's back far enough.
So is that the message ultimately we want to send? Is that we're okay with the fact that it's out in that area, okay, of the industrial area, like commercial, but we want to push back on that property.
It has to go back in the corner. That's right.
You're okay with the physical property, but not the location on said property.
It has to go in the back corner because, Greg, I'm telling you right now, Councillor Rivard, were you on council or Councillor Cody when the issue of the East Link Tower come up in behind Mount Everett Road?
No.
You weren't on council?
No.
Councillor Rivard, you weren't on council. The controversy that caused, and that was in back of a field.
Yeah.
They had meetings out there. Meetings were organized around the tower.
Yeah.
And council said no to it, right?
Yeah.
CRTC said, we don't care what you said. So the fight that the neighbors had was not against the council of the day. It was against CRTC. That's why CRTC has to start listening more to local jurisdictions and that we understand the culture and we understand the harmonious construction or addition to a neighborhood, whether it's industrial, residential, commercial. I'm just asking that it goes back in that corner.
Yeah. That's what I think that's what we're all asking, Your Worship. I think without coming up right out and refusing it, I think we're all agreeing that area again is the right area. It needs to be on the back of that lot. Yeah.
No to where it's going. Yes to going in back. That's how the letter should be.
Right. So are you good with that, Jason?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. Did anybody else join the call, Ellen?
I did. Yeah, I'm here.
Julie this time.
Okay, Julie, I don't know how much information that you caught, but are you okay with what was just discussed around the location being okay, but we want to make sure that the tower, or work hard enough or hard as we can to make sure the tower ends up at the back of the McGinnis Express?
I am in agreement with that. Yes.
Okay.
So just for reference, the letter we would write is that the tower as proposed is okay on the property, but not in the location they propose. Like the height and everything is okay, but not in the location.
Has to go in the northeast corner.
Yeah.
Northeast corner. That's where it is.
Yeah. Do we need a resolution for that, Alex, or are we just need direction?
we're going to need a resolution because it's going to go through council, so that will be we'll get that prepared. We'll get it to council for Tuesday night.
Okay, so can I have someone to move it and second it?
So, can you read the resolution again? It's the resolution.
Right, can you just specify again what the resolution is going to contain?
I guess that's up to you, but the wording that I would suggest is that the Planning and Heritage Committee directs staff to write a letter to Industry Canada that council concurs with the proposed property for the tower, but would prefer that it be located back further on site from Mount Edward Road in the northeast corner, and the proviso about the co-location as well.
And
I wouldn't say preferred, I'd say that's
Want.
what they expect.
Want.
yeah, and can we put an actual distance on, be it at least 75 meters from Mount Edward Road, just to give them in the resolution.
It's 117 meters from the road to the corner.
Yeah, I'm just saying, putting in just a piece into that.
Yeah, so to the back of the building that exists now is 100 meters. So, and then the back of the property is 147 meters. So,
Back
So-
140.
So we can say over 100 meters, let's say, from, because I mean they're going to want to find a location in between, and I think that's far enough. So over 100 meters, can't be
Yeah, I
within
think
100.
that would work good.
Okay,
Good point. That's a good point. Can't be within 100 meters of Mount Edward
Mount.
Road. Good point. Good point.
Right.
Yep.
do you want a distance from McAleer Drive as well?
Nope. Doesn't matter in McAleer because it's in the corner. They're not going to, McGinnis Brothers is not going to put it in the middle of their parking lot because they have trucks going in and out of there. They want to go in one of those corners. So the northeast corner is where it'll go. And as the councillor, the chairman said, more than 100 meters away from Mount Edward Road.
yeah.
Correct?
So Greg, are you comfortable? Alex, are you comfortable with that? And
Yep.
if you guys are, then we'll get one of the councillors or the mayor to throw a motion forward to accept that and second it. Then we'll put it to a vote.
Staff are good.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
Okay, is this it right here? Write a letter to,
Yeah.
I just need a motion to approve and
Sorry. That one.
I'll move it.
okay, moved. Do I have a seconder?
Yeah. Just 1 second. Could I just add that write a letter to Industry Canada that the city council concurs with the proposed property for the tower, but would accept. No, I wouldn't put would expect, want that it be located. It should be a want. It's not a need. We need it. No. My say would expect, that just leaves it wide open. It has to go in that corner, guys.
Just
It must be located.
say council requires that this tower be located
Must be located further back. Yeah.
front road.
I would say council recommends because you're not the decision maker, so you're recommending to them. That's what we can do up the wording and we'll massage it and we'll get it to you in a manner of we'll touch base with a couple of you before we send it off.
Okay, so Mr. Chair, could I ask Alex, will they respond to us? Industry Canada?
No, they don't.
Or will
They don't respond to anybody.
Oh, they just put up the tower.
They make their own decision, but they need the letter from the municipality in regard to your a critical component of the process.
So they're not going to even respond to us. Man, oh man. Okay, but council strongly recommends that it be located. Not recommends, strongly. We want to make sure that they get the, CRTC, I know they have a national interest in mind here because of telecommunications, but why do they ask the local jurisdictions what they think? And we give our opinions, and they go, too bad. Like,
Yeah.
I just think it's, we go through this all the time when it comes to towers and telecommunication. Yeah, but council strongly, I put that in bold letter in red, recommends that it be located further back.
Okay. Okay. So
Sorry, Councillor Bird, and if you want to get the distance calculate the distance from McAleer Drive too, so we know where it is going in the corner. Can you do that, Greg?
Well, to the back of the building is 100 meters, and then the back of the property is 147 meters.
Or what's it off McAleer Drive?
The property is 55 meters deep on McAleer Drive.
Okay. So more than 50 meters, no more than 50 meters off McAleer Drive, 100 meters off,
That leaves them 5 meters though to work within. So I would say that, is that right, Greg?
Yeah, that's correct.
So I would say that it has to be at least over 25 meters, or just, I would leave it off Mount Everett Road. Where it ends up, I don't think they're going to put it right on the side of the street.
good point.
But again, they got 55 meters to work with, which is not a ton of space. So I think we should be careful on how much we demand, because as I said, we'll be actually pinpointing the location for them at this rate. And I think we need to leave them with a little bit of meat on the bone to work with, and hopefully work with us.
Yeah, but they pinpointed their location. We're just saying that, guys, this doesn't work for Charlottetown, so we're asking you to pinpoint it in the other corner. That's all we're saying. So that's why, but council strongly recommends that it be located further back on the site. Strongly.
That's the whole premise of this. Yep. Okay, so the motion was moved by Julie, Councillor McCabe. Do I have anyone a second?
What's that?
I said the motion of doing this letter, and we'll leave it up to staff to do the first for Tuesday night. It's been moved by Councillor McCabe. I need someone to second the motion.
Oh, the deputy will.
Yeah.
Okay, moved and seconded. Okay, all in favor?
But just before you do that, I want that word strongly recommends.
Yes, Your Worship.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In favor. Thank you very much.
Okay, so all in favor? I didn't hear anybody say yes, but I'm guessing it's good.
Yes.
Hands up.
All right, thank you. All right. So moving into a closed session as per 119.1 subsection F and G of the Municipal Government Act. Can I have someone to move and second that, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
I vote yeah.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Good. All right. So we're moved into